My name is Deanne Mullins, and when I was in high school, I was in a very abusive relationship and became pregnant at the age of 15. My parents, when I told them, weren't receptive to that. And instead of, I was wanting to choose life and to have the baby, I was unaware of what options I had as far as adoption. Knowing what I know now, I would have given the baby up for adoption. My parents did not feel that I was old enough to raise a child, and so they took me to a Planned Parenthood who tested the pregnancy, and I was pregnant, and they gave my parents a list of the abortion clinics near that clinic. My parents called. 3 days later, we walked into their office. They signed me in. The doctor took me back, and I was given an abortion. While laying on the table, I begged and pleaded for my child's life, asking the doctor to please stop. That if he didn't tell my parents, I wouldn't either. Obviously, that wouldn't have worked. The doctor told me that one day I would thank him for not stopping. That's been 20 years, and I haven't had a day yet that I've thanked that man. That loss, I grieved, and I cried, and I begged God to forgive me for years. I looked at other children differently. I did things purposefully to hurt myself and to hurt my parents for that choice. About 10 years past that day, I started feeling like I was recovering, that I was healing, and moving on with my life. Last week was the first time I had told anybody about that time in my life, ever, except for my husband when we got engaged. I obviously haven't told a whole lot of people, but now I'm being videotaped. So when I testified, a lot of friends seem to have found out. Apparently, we're all watching. So I'm feeling much more free, but I still feel a loss. I have 5 children now that are living, 4 that I gave birth to, 1 that I took by choice. I foster, and we're working on adoption. I have worked really hard to make amends for the loss of that child. I teach middle school, reaching out to the young girls who are looking for men to love them and looking at the choices that they have once they've made that choice. Texas, standing for women's health doesn't just mean standing for whether or not you agree on abortion, but that the pain and the anguish that the women go through after that loss and the years of time that it takes for you to feel healed and moved forward, that you can walk up to someone and say, yeah, I had that in my life and I'm moving past. That is part of women's health just as much as vaccinations and shots and the flu virus. That we need to look at each other and support each other, those who are grieving that loss, and love on them.
That's right.
So I just urge you to, it's not something that we need to be fighting about and arguing and yelling and screaming and making hateful statements. It's, if we're supporting women, we need to support women. And that's what I'm believing in.
Amen.